too many episodes. Or then, of course, episode 6, season 5, right? In this, I wouldn't call it tournament arc, but kind of like a minor tournament arc, right? So we can, of course, it's clearly gonna be Momo fighting Kendo, right? They had this like model girl fighting, you know, they went to the same agency when she's one made them. She was like, you two young, attractive girls, you can be heroes at my model agency. So, you know, they both like, yep, that was fun. And I guess she's like, I will show you I'm a better hero now. But I do feel that, of course, Momo-chan's powers are way better. This is way better. I mean, her powers are like, oh, I can molecule transfer stuff. And Kendo is like, I can punch you with my big hand or something. I don't really feel that's like a very good power. I don't really think that's a very good power. But anyway, let's start watching it. So, that didn't work. Sorry. Timer. There we go. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, and go. Hopefully it won't do too much recap and like too much, you know, filler, because immediately it's like, Class B is here, oi oi oi, it's me, the annoying mime guy. Yeah, it's like, yeah, versus battle. Immediately it's like, let's recap the Sue scene. That's good, the Sue scene, yeah, good stuff. It's not a recap in the first fight. Yeah, like the floppy kick and so on. And of course, the shadow bit and so on. That was really well animated though. That was amazing. With the, like, you know, flying around with the shadow, right? That was, he was pulling naval laser. That looked amazing. Yeah, and the shadow. Are they doing a very long review held? I think they're going into this Black Clover route. They're like, we have to recap for 3 minutes per episode. But this was really, this has been pretty nearly wrapped. It's really well animated. Yeah, it's amazing in the beginning. And of course, the bird can now fly. Now it's probably opening. Then we probably get the episode. Opening, yeah. It's a little bit like they're going that, you know, One Piece, Black Clover route. Like, we have to, it's a short anime, we need to do like, you know, 2 minutes filler episode. Let's recap for 3 minutes. Now it's like 1.5 minutes, but how much was it to recap? It's like, I think the problem here is that the recap itself is just like, well, yeah, we know they had 1.5 fights. It wasn't even 2 fights, it was 1.5 fights. So like, yeah, we know Shinso fought and then the shadow guys started their fight. Yeah, it's like, yeah, great. It's a little bit like that, right? Where you feel like, yeah, okay, good. And of course, all might be like reminiscing this episode. Oh, I remember the tournament dog. That was the dramatic. It's like, yes, All Might, good. I also remember that thought, like. I think last week was really good, the second half, and the first half was like, oh, here they're flashback again, talking about stuff that happened like a season ago. Yeah, great. And then we're going to see that Shinso versus Deku revenge fight, right? But hopefully Shinso wins for this once. That's probably the last. That's probably the last fight, right? It's probably the last fight with Shinso fighting. That's probably the last thing. But here we go. So finally starts. So I mean, this thing looks great. It looks really good, let's say too. Actually, that's still recap. This is still recap though. Yeah, this is still recap because this is how it ended last week. No, the mushroom will come on them. Yeah, now this is like a mushroom trap, right? You think so? Yeah, like this is the mushroom trap. Look at this. Yeah. So this is very catch sneaky. This is how you do it in the Clover. This is recap still. This is still, yeah. Come on, man. I'm really feeling like they are like pacing it out as slow as they can because this is still recap. So this is like recap before and after the opening, right? And it's not even a recap, but it's the same scene. It's even lazier than recap. Man, it's not very negative, but come on, this is, I'm getting tired of like the whole system has been like this. Where they keep, okay, now let's start. Now let's start. 4 minutes in, right? Yeah, I'm afraid it's kind of weird. Like, now the episode starts. Yeah, this is a new scene. Yeah, this here the episode starts. Okay, finally. But yeah, powers are mushrooms. I don't know what they do though. Maybe some spores. Many different mushrooms. It's actually also in last episode, but it's more the same scene again. But yeah, she got power of mushroom clearly, but are they that dangerous though? If it's more like it's mushrooms everywhere now, it's like, yeah, that's. I guess girl can't go hidden because she's like revealed. It's like stealth reveal or something, I suppose. Yeah, it's like stealth reveal. Yeah, like, I don't want to fight here. I like Kimoy. Yeah, Kimoy. It's just disgusting. I don't want to be in this episode. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, he can hide in the. I guess he can like hide as a dark mushroom. I suppose. Great combination of abilities. Oh, that's good. Ken's gonna explain her strategies. Yeah, I guess he was the one that come up with the. Yeah. So I guess Kendo was the one to. He's the brains, right? Operation here. It's a little bit now. She's explaining what you saw though. Like, this is my strategy. If you saw this episode, yeah, it's like, yes, good. Yeah, the plan's going perfect here. But I mean, it's kind of like that. Like, he's kind of explaining what you saw, right? What's happening now, though? Oh yeah, he can like write stuff, right? Yeah, he can write bam. Yeah, he's a living cartoon guy. He's like, I can write this stuff. Yeah. Manga! He's a manga guy! He's got, like, I have the manga powers! Like, I can write stuff with my manga power, let's go. Yeah, he writes, you know, do stuff like that. Of course. Makes perfect sense. And then it becomes real. Yeah, of course. Yeah. What is this? It's like, what is... He had the best power ever. It's kind of similar to Momo actually, can I create this stuff? It's so much similar to her, right? Like creating this, the different abilities, yeah, like... Yeah, this is Kimoy, right? He's freaking out. Yeah, a bit of skin crawl, man. And Vlad is all like, yeah, clearly Class B is way better prepared and stronger than Class A. It's like, yes. No Momo's alone though, but it's gonna be the bite in the ass though. I mean, it's gonna be an issue now. Momo's alone, but it's gonna make Momo win, right? Because Momo's like, I can't take care for myself, you know. There's gonna be a mistake putting Momo alone here, clearly. See? told you guys, it's gonna be a problem now because it's like, this is my perfect strategy! I feel alone! But here Momo of course will come and shine, right? Come on. You know Momo's gonna be able to defeat her somehow. Yeah, she can fight people with big arms or something. It was nice though. Yeah, I guess I'm... It looks powerful, but you know that Momo's gonna... I feel Momo's gonna have some, you know, ace up her sleeve here. She's kind of way too simplistic though. You're a fanboy here. Exactly, see? She's gonna be like... Because he's like, oh, I like this, I like my girl. She knows she has inferiority complex sometimes, but... You know, she usually has like a she usually comes up with a genius idea when it's needed, right? So it's like, no, this girl, she's gonna bring out some genius strategy here whenever you need to. You see, it's all this, I shipped them, yeah. I was like, all this like, I believe in you! Come on. This theoretically makes sense though, because it's like a build up for her, you know, defeating Kendo here. Exactly. This is all getting up with her instead. This is stupid going one-on-one. Now she's gonna somehow be able to win here. Right? She's gonna like turn it around somehow. She prepared for this. Yeah, but she probably predicted Kendo's gonna do this thing. I mean, Kendo was like challenge her in her face, right? It's like, I will show you! Yeah, it's like... I mean, it's kind of an unpredictable strategy that Kendo would fight in that duel, right? Okay, here we go. It's like, yeah, we've been here before. Okay, sure, but it's like, she's seen the make cannons before. I don't even know why she's surprised because she make a cannon. Like, we've seen her make a lot of cannons in her life. Come on. Then what do you do with this shadow fights? I feel it's just... I still don't know what she's probably doing. His comic manga power is nice though, but her master power is most annoying. He's Kimoy. She's like, yeah, it's mushroom everywhere, but what did he do? Nothing really. I don't know. I mean, they do reveal her though. Like that, it's an anti-invincible power though. That's what it does, I guess. She can't hide anymore. That's the one thing it does. But like, you know, yeah, like what else would this power do actually? More mushroom popping up on him. Okay, they're showing the same scene again here. Cannon scene. A big cannon! Which I think she should expect it though. This is a thing she should expect it because she was cannon before, so it's like, you can create a cannon? Okay, she looks a bit closer actually if she did. She likes cannons. She does a lot of time. Yeah, it's like it must shoot at net something. I don't know. It must shoot something else. Yeah, it's something else. So that's something else than a cannonball. Yeah, I'm going for the team win here. Nice, the op-ice. That's for the magical op-ice that every female character needs, I feel. But I mean, she's more focused on winning the team fight, right? Like sending us into the guys. Here we go. A little package. It's like it's like an item drop, lucky bag. Yes, we get a drop here. She told me good job, yeah. Okay, yeah, I guess it's like a... Thermal goggles. The lucky bag. Oh, it's nice, yeah. She's like, get some loop drop there. Here we go. Yeah, I can see everything now. That's an edgelord comment. Edgelord comment. I'm staring at today, Miss Emerson's back to me. Yeah, I get that edgelord comment here. Completely necessary. Fuck, I love his. Yeah, it's like, yes, I can stare into the abyss now. I'm one with the darkness. You get that? Unnecessary extra comment. Perfect. Wait, jag kunde se inte då. Oh, here we go. Okay, I guess it's all angry, but you can't see her. She finally does something, but why wasn't she removing her hand glass earlier? I don't know. It's a little bit like, why should she like run with her? I mean, so we can see her, I guess, in the anime, but it's like a little bit. Why isn't she always just completely invincible, right? When they're fighting? Like, yeah, like why was she not doing that thing earlier? This poor class B man, he keeps getting old there. Subfat. Oh, I'm gonna allow all his edgelord names too. You're a little. Yeah, they win easily. I love that. Lucky backdrop. Yeah, that was nice. But she still maybe win against Kendo though. Well, finally, mushroom something. Yeah, but I've been waiting for it to be shroomed, right? Yeah, come on. The mushroom has to do something else. The mushroom has to do some kind of, you know, like you poison or whatever. Right? Why are the mushrooms? Exact. Come on, it has to be some kind of mushroom shroom thing. That actually sounds quite. It's like yeah, you can't breathe anymore. Yeah, it's kind of like the scary hero power. Oh, I saw your lungs. It's like, what? Is he a hero? They're like, yeah, you can't breathe anymore. It's like, okay. But I think he can just scream in front of him. Look at his manga face is getting, his panel face is getting. But it's kind of obviously standing there, right? Yeah. I don't know how her powers are also kind of ineffective, I feel. But I guess Momo are lost here. But it's nice how his face is all like, yeah. Okay. What is this? She fused together with me to slow me down or something. But I guess Kendo is physically powerful. So Kendo just like moved or something. Man, he's so in love with her. Come on, we're nakamas! Yeah. He's like dying over there. Yeah, her powers are like super scary, but I was waiting for someone to be, you know, like, you know, poisoned by her mushroom strike. Yeah, something like that. Because it was like, come on. It need to be something like that, right? So yeah, you can't breathe anymore. And he really likes Kendo. If you don't know about, yeah, Kendo is like, I felt the mushroom girl was the one who won that though. And Midnight feels just, you know, hot as always. Yes, I'm satisfied seeing the fight. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. She's just like, oh yeah, youth. They actually did lose that. That was good. What are you saying that? I felt it was too easy for. Can't have Class A win every fight. That would be really boring. Yes, to be heroes. Do, 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 do. That is good how Vlad is like, clearly, class, best class ever, yeah, like, God. The worst competitor ever, yes. Well deserved class B. And of course I do. Who would have watched out of that? Before every live stream, man. For every live stream. So let's look at the preview. And then we go for... the next thing is Vivi, yeah. Today is so much anime, right? So next thing is Vivi, and then... so Vivi, to review Shadow House, so on, right? Oh, beach episode, interesting. But yeah, give me that for the preview here. I mean, the ending is kind of cute. You have like a party, right? Like a barbecue or birthday party, something. It's someone's birthday party. Like, yeah, gums, I guess. Yeah, then it's like someone's birthday or something. Okay, here we go. Preview. Okay, so now it's time for Ice Boy. So what are they facing? Yeah, half cold, half hot, man. So Tetsu's back. Match 3. They didn't show much of the other team. Yeah, it was like Class B doing something. They didn't tell you much. Like, yeah, it was like Class B is this guy's very adapted. It wasn't really explaining much what the other team was gonna do. But anyway, yeah, Momo gets her cannon up. A cannon. Yeah, because something big, man. You gotta take some time, right? Bam. So let's review it. Episode 94, right? Or 6 season 5. So yeah, Momo brings out the cannon, the big guns, right? Fighting her model rival. I don't know why Kendo was surprised about this. It was like, oh, she likes cannons. Like, he always likes cannon. But I mean, it was a good fight. Kendo, of course, showing her strategic intelligence, right? Picking up Momo. Whoever, though, kind of like Todoroki said, it's like, no, Momo has a plan for this thing. I mean, one issue that Kendo had was like, she was like in her face, challenging her. Like, I will show you, Momo, that I'm the better girl than you are. I'm the best girl here. It's like, okay. So she knew she would put it in a duel, right? So kind of like, okay. Like, she could expect anything happening. I thought it was really good. It's animated quite well, right? And they had a whole... I always say one thing, though, where I feel Momo is lacking, though, honestly. Almost a little bit in the writing itself, honestly. That Momo's just like blocking her, right? With her shields. Blocking her with the shields, right? Blocking her with the different tungsten. She's getting the cannon out. But I do feel that Momo could have done a lot more in a defensive manner than just having like shields, right? She could have, some caltrops. You've seen her earlier do that. She could have done some, the flash bangs or whatever, right? So I feel a little bit disappointed actually about Momo not doing anything else. I mean, the cannon and the lucky bag, I love that. Yeah, it was like an item drop for the other guys. That was really cool. But before this scene, like before she did the cannon, she could have done something else. I just feel that it's a little bit of that. I feel they could have. I'm not saying it would make any difference, right, for the actual who would win, who would lose. But she was attacking her. What was that scene? She was like punching her. Kendo doing all cute. Here we go, yeah. Here. She starts smacking Momo right with her massive fist, right? Yeah, she go in that big fist thing, right? I feel that here, Momo could have done like, cat drops or something. I feel he could have been a little more here that could have made Momo look a little more reasonable at defending herself. Because I feel the thing with Momo is that she has the same power basically, right, as the Molecule Man in X-Men, or X-Men in 4, I mean. It's one of his 4 bad, I suppose. And the Sentry in Avengers, I suppose, the Dark Avengers storyline in Marvel. So Momo's power then, or the Sentry power then, one of the worst / best bad guys, I suppose, in Marvel. No one else. You have to read the comics for Sentry, but Sentry is a guy that has. It's the power of 1,000 exploding suns. It's the best. Yeah, the power of 1,000 supernovas. But he's incredibly powerful. But the Sentry has molecule powers, really. Like he can create stuff. Just like Momo, he can create stuff, right? And that's why he's so powerful. He makes himself powerful, right? By having like his body is like a living sun because he has the power of creating like suns, right? So that's why he's so powerful. So he's utilizing his molecule transformation, way better, right? Than Momo is, quite obviously. But so let's assume Momo can't do that. Okay? Momo can't like empower her own body, which actually I think she should be able to do because again, this is the same kind of power, right? She can create stuff, in her body, right? Why can't she like make a metal skin or whatever? I don't know. But ignoring that stuff, she still should be able to do other stuff than that. I think that's pretty good. But I do wish that Momo would have. I mean, again, even if she would have lost, right? It's the same result. I wish that she would, throw out some other stuff right during it, like call drops, something else, nets, I don't know, and then eventually get into cannon. But you like something else, here she can maybe like do a flashbang to try to blind her, and I find this a little bit like her powers is so limitless, again because she can just create stuff. She has to just like understand how they work molecularly, but it basically, I mean, as an anime character, she's limited to her imagination, right, more or less, right? She's limited to what she can build up in her brain, right? So her options are quite limitless in this fight, and she goes for shield, and yeah, she really loves cannons. She really loves against cannons, right? But she knows something else. I like the Kendo 1 though. I do like the Kendo. I like the class A1. B, I mean, sorry. I like class B1, absolutely. Kendo actually defeated her. I do love that though. Absolutely. But I mean, I don't know. Almost kind of easy for Kendo because Momo just took it, right? It's also a problem though, I suppose. But anyway, the bag was funny. You know, Adidas is like shooting up like a lucky bag, yeah. With her name on it too, it's like yours. It's like even names tagged, yeah. Like an item drop in like 4 times. That was nice. Getting that lucky bag, and generally, I think it's a good scene because Momo is like losing to Kendo right in a fight, and she's like, well, if I can't defeat this girl 1-on-1. I'm just gonna lose for the purpose. I'm just gonna take the attacks, lose the fight, but instead makes my allies win, right? So it's a good character moment from Momo that she's like willing to lose this, you know, model girl fight, you know, 1-on-1, right? And yeah, take that damage, take the lose, and you know, purposely, how to say it, knowing that she won't be able to win, but maybe her teammates can win, right, by the goggles and so on. So yeah, it's a good character moment, definitely. She's more willing to, you know, think about her nakamas, right, and generally not just a friend with the typical anime nakama thing, but also, I mean, she's like focusing on how to say it, the strategy, right, like winning the actual sport game, whatever you call it, like winning the tournament more than winning her own, you know, like 1-on-1 individual fights, right? So she's like discarding her own prestige, I suppose you could say, yeah, her own prestige, and focusing on trying to make her friends win, right? Like 3 against 1 kind of losing, and you know they will win, right? So it's a good moment though from a strategic aspect. I think it's a really good plan from her that she's willing to yeah, take the L, right, so the other ones can win. So it's a good scene, and then of course eventually you see later that she kind of fused herself up to Kendo, right? So they kind of stuck together to slow Kendo down too. So she's both losing to Kendo and, like, you know, making her have a disadvantage, right? So she's losing, but she's making the lose. She's spoiling the loser. So it takes a longer time for Kendo to get to. So it's a very self-sacrifice moment there from Momo Yasuro's lucky bag, yeah. So it was really nice. It was nice. It was nice, definitely. And I do like that they still managed to lose, though, even though she did this heroic sacrifice, right, for her teammates and so on. So it's really nice. That's really nice. All stuff happening though. I mean, we have the goggles. It's pretty cool. Everything that. I do love his power though when she's punching him. A lot of detail that actually. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what she was punching his comic. I love that detail of his face being all like wrinkled on. There we go. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, I love this angle though. So Invisible Girl, right? She fights the manga power, and his face gets all like twisted. So I love this in here because every time she punched him, right, he has a living manga face, right? So when she punched him, his face would be like wrinkled or it would be like twisted. Yeah, so he's like his living manga panel face got depending on damage she did though. However, though, I'll say this thing though. Why is she? I mean, it's a typical thing with her, but like, why is she not wearing, or why is she still wearing her gloves and you know, shoes in the beginning of the fight? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And suddenly now, after the mushrooms have been moved on her, thanks to, of course, Lucky Bag, like after the Lucky Bag's item has removed her mushrooms, now she's finally taking off her gloves and shoes. Why is she never just in her, you know, complete invisible mode? I think that is a little stupid though. That is such bad, but I don't know. Like, is it a Fortnite because it makes sense in maybe like in the beginning to have her go next to them and talk, so we as the viewer understand where she is. Doesn't just hear her voice, right? If you can see her hand, and it's kind of like a, you know, kawaii thing. So we get, you know, yeah, a little bit like a, I don't know, the cutesy moment with her, right? A little more conversation. But as soon as she enters the actual fight, she should obviously immediately go into full actual, you know, hiding mode, right? Full stealth mode, yeah. So this kind of see that she's like, oh, now I'm in stealth mode when the final thing is happening, or something, yeah. So I don't know. That to me is a little bit like, it's a little forced. I feel that she's, I don't know, like, not taking it seriously until the last second or something. Yeah, how can you explain it, right? It is much more just, I feel, forced, right, to make it look kawaii or more understandable for the viewer, which is standing when they are having their dialogues or whatever, right? More than actually making, it doesn't make any sense actually that she's walking around with her hands on and so on. That being said, though, this fight looked cool, but I think again it actually is a little stupid because she keeps punching his face from the front, right? He's like punching his face from the front, and it's a little bit like we see this animated. He's like bam, 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 bam. He's like, I can't see where she is, right? There's the ink bottle or anything ink out. I don't know, but the whole fight is her just punching him forward, right? You know, she's not like punching him in the face, then doing a swap, running around. You know, she's also doing this stuff. She's punching him like this, right? Just forward. So I just feel like, couldn't he just punch forward? Because she hasn't even moved. She hasn't even tried to, you know, go around him or whatever. So I think that actually the fight was kind of stupid. Like, why didn't she, like changing her location during the fight? She isn't. You just keep punching him from the front. So he should be, he can guess who she is. She's standing in front of him the whole fight. She isn't even trying to change. Then Kendo appears and grabs her. Like, it makes sense that Kendo grabs her easily because she wasn't even trying to hide herself. She was just like bam, bam, bam. She comes behind her, get to, you know, yeah. So it does feel like it was too easy for Kendo to beat her. Kendo should have to struggle, right? Like trying to grab her, but she could just be like, oh, got you. Yeah, it wasn't harder than that because she was just standing in the exact same location while she was punching. And if she had kept moving around, right, then Kendo might have missed. They had to kind of fight there. So I feel that she was, I don't know. I think that was just stupid. It was too easy for Kendo to beat her, yeah, because she just didn't even try to, you know, change her, her location. So that's kind of silly. And then Mushroom Girl, of course, is super more dangerous. Yeah, Mushroom Girl is like much more dangerous. And that I felt was obvious. Because I mean, otherwise what would happen, right? So we finally see her real powers. She used that power, right? Yeah, and kind of suffocated them, I guess. And that was good. Because I felt like I was saying during the reaction part, I was like, what's her point of her powers otherwise? She just makes like a lot of mushrooms. It has to be some kind of spores, right? So kind of getting into your system, some kind of poison, some kind of something that makes you some kind of status element, right? Typical, you know, mushrooms in many gaming and so on, right? It has to be some kind of sleep powder or poison powder or something like that. Basically a grass Pokemon. but I mean, otherwise it's like, what's the mushroom doing? So it was quite predictable that it would happen. But so I'm happy she did it. But I would say it didn't look very heroic though. It looked very mean. Yeah, it's like, oh, she's like bad girl. Didn't look very heroic, but I like that she finally did that and won easily then, right? She easily defeated him when she got to that because it made sense. Because I was waiting for like, why is she just mushrooming everywhere? It has to be some kind of status attack. It has to be something like, oh, you're poisoned now, you can't walk anymore, you're paralyzed. There has to be something like that. Whereas it's just really stupid. But so yeah, I'm happy to see that Class B actually won, right? Because I said in the report, I don't want to see Class A just win everything, right? So that's good, and her powers are of course much more terrifying. They were in the beginning, right? Which also makes sense. Just didn't spend their time just mushroom and everything, and of course had some love story too, though, with her and her shadow boyfriend. Yeah, there was some love story. Like, oh, come here, Sean. That was cute, and he's all like, "You saved me. I like." She's like, "Of course, we're Nakamas." He's like, "Yeah, Nakamas." That was cute. That was goddamn adorable. He's trying to like, "Oh, you're so intelligent and powerful." Yeah. Oh, that was nice. Anyway, let's talk about the last thing that I did like though, because I felt very obvious in this anime, and that's the filler, right? You know, that's the filler thing. It's a recap thing. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm just like, again, anime. I feel this season has become really obnoxious. I feel really obnoxious on the. I said it last week, right? And I don't know. It's just it's so obvious too. So yeah, I think it's a perfect scene of that. It looks really ugly. It's a perfect scene of that. So like, this is after the opening, okay, guys. This is after the opening. So after the opening, they're still having more recap, right? Yeah. So the episode has something like, I don't know, three and a half. The episode started after minute 4 something. So we have the opening on that. So something like 3-minute recap, right? So there's a lot of recap for, I don't know, telling us that Shinso won his fight, and it's this fight 2, right? So it's like fight 1 happened. There's like Fight 2 recap of the first part of Fight 2. So it is a lot of fillery recap right again this episode, and that has become a very obvious pattern I think this season, more than any other season. Even though they had issues earlier too, this season has like they started feeling like a Black Clover episode, right, or like One Piece of that. More like Black Clover because Black Clover also does this in the same thing. So what I mean here is that Black Clover actually, I think, is a little better than that in the later, seasons, right? Black Clover did this a lot in the beginning, when people kind of dropped Black Clover. They did it a lot in the episode like 14, 15, 16, around that market in the middle there, kind of the beginning of Black Clover. It's a lot. So they're doing here is that first they recap before the opening, then they do the opening, and then after the opening, we still have like 1 or 2 more minutes of, recap, or this is like even worse, because this is just like the exact same scene again. This isn't even a recap, right? This is the last 1 or 2 minutes of last week. So this is very I feel Black Clover-ish, right, in Black Clover's worst episodes from a recap standpoint, where they kind of just have like recap and then into like redoing the exact same scene, right? And I feel here in Academia it's very noticeable. It's very noticeable how they're probably spending up to maybe almost 5 minutes, maybe more, of like recap flashbacks, right? That shouldn't be there. That is purely just padding it up because, yeah, again here, recap before the opening, recap, re-showing, whatever you call it, right? Filler basically, right? After the opening. And then later on in the episode, after the eye catcher, so they have the eye catcher, right? So they have the eye catcher moment, Kendo versus Momo, eye catcher, and then after the eye catcher, it is the exact same canon scene again, right? So that is very like, yeah, episode 40, 50 of Black Clover, where it's like yet another recap, or that re-showing that after the eye catcher. So do the exact same scene again, there's another half hour or 1 minute there, right? Plus some, a little bit flashback with like Momo and Todoroki and so on. That made sense though, in the context. He's like, I support my girl, I mean, I love her girl, I like this girl, yeah. It supported that though, but still, there's like another 1.5 or so minute of recap. So it's flashback. If you count that in, it's something like 6 minutes or so of recap filler, right, in the episode. So that's like 25% episode, right, is just filler recap. So that's very unfortunate though. Because sacked him last week, right, and so on. The first episode was filler. So they really are, I feel, they're going that shonen route now, and because the thing is that with One Piece, right, with Black Clover, especially then, and I suppose with Boruto currently, but arguably, but in these animes they are weekly, right? They're going every week, they're producing it every week. Well, Black Clover ended, but after that point, yeah, they did every week, and then it's like they kind of have to be like, well, 1 chapter per episode kind of thing, right? Especially One Piece, and they're trying to pad it out much as they can, right? I think actually right now in One Piece, Wano, they're doing it really well, right? Because they're adding in some cool scenes, some extra graphics. So in Wano, One Piece is doing it very well, except maybe the sumo fight, obviously, and some other issues. But mostly it's done quite good in One Piece. But here instead, this is like straight up, I think, the worst part of Black Clover, right? When Black Clover also did like recap, eye catch recap, flashback that doesn't make any sense, or like flashback, unnecessary flashback for like half a minute that we saw last week, and like flashbacking what we saw last episode kind of thing. It's just like, come on, you just saw that, yeah. So I don't know exactly here, but I think it's something about 6.5 minutes or a minute, right? If you count the Todoroki flashback, which I actually think made sense, right? But still a flashback nonetheless, right? So if you count everything, it's something like that. You can cut away from the episode, and that's a lot of time in like a 22-minute ending though. So if you count the ending as well, then that's like 7.5 minutes. But then I count the ending, so that won't count. But so it's like in 21 minutes. It's a huge amount of time though. And the thing is that they do it every episode, right? They're doing it every episode. So I do feel like I said last week, they clearly could have cut away easily 5 minutes last week too, right? And here they easily could cut away 6 minutes this episode. So you can do the math, or do the math, right? In these 6 episodes, first is 100% filler, and then in the other, like, so they have like it's a 5-minute fillers, right? So yeah, we should be about, like, you can add 1 more episode in this time, right? Plus 1 more for the episode, kind of 0 filler, right? Like 2 more episodes. But even ignoring that episode, a full filler episode, we easily have at least one more episode of screen time here, right? At least one more episode, probably like 1.5 hours if you really want to be nitpicky, but more like one episode at least. That's a lot, right? That's a lot, and unfortunately I don't see them change this. Unfortunately, I see it's probably gonna stay that. They're probably gonna keep this pacing until next arc or something. This arc is like the moment to just fill out and pad out stuff, right? So it's very unfortunate. I mean, I like the episode generally. I think the episode is good, but it's like, goddamn, you can remove like 6 minutes of the episode easily, and it would be the same episode, right? You can easily remove 6 minutes, probably even more than that. But yeah, that's the review, guys. I mean, again, just like last week, I liked the episode, right? I liked Momo, I liked the Lucky Bag thing, but you could easily remove 6 minutes. And that's just the honest truth, right? So I am disappointed in this, honestly. I like the scenes, but it's just like, man, you could remove 5-6 minutes per episode, right? So at episode 6 now, we would have had an episode 7, right? With that. And then you can really pace it out. But this episode here, it perfectly felt, because like even after the eye catcher, they did another flashback or whatever, recap or whatever you call it, fillering time, right? After the eye catcher. That's like super, I feel, way to, like, you know, extend the pacing, right? But anyway, that's my episode. See you guys at night with, of course, Vivi, which is really good. I think episode Vivi, a really interesting storyline. The poor robots. Very Nia Automata though. It feels extreme Nia Automata and Vivi. I mean, I love Nia Automata playing the Gestalt now and Nia Replicant on the last game as well. But it's like, I mean, I love Automata and Vivi was exactly, even they didn't look like the robots Automata. Jag hoppas det finns kind of like, it's too similar. But anyway, I like it. Then we have Nagatoro and so on, right? So, you know, Saturday, all the anime. So the course of One Piece last tonight, right? But the One Piece here. But again, this feels like One Piece. From like a filler standpoint, it feels like a One Piece. Like a filler padding issues. Yeah, it's like, oh, let's have like 5-minute recap. It's like, I mean, in One Piece, usually you can jump the first 5 minutes, right? In One Piece, you start at minute 5, and then you kind of add with episode starts, right? This is how the episode feels too. But it's even worse, I feel, because they're kind of mixing it in the middle, right? So they're doing the Beclover style of worse Beclover. That's worse because in One Piece, usually you can skip the first 5 minutes and then get into it. Here's like, skip the first 4 minutes, then watch for a bit, and skip 1 minute.